good. I just love K-dramas so much. Okay. Hey guys, it's Katie K. Let's talk K-dramas. Today we're talking about Hello My 20s Season 1. And if you have not seen Hello My 20s, then now is the time for you to pause this video, go watch the entire drama, and then come back and keep watching. Because it does contain spoilers. So, if you haven't seen it yet, let's go watch the pre-watch video. And if you have, then let's talk. Okay, so what I normally do for each K-drama is I have 10 categories, and I give a score out of 10 for each category. And then I add up all of those scores, and I get a score out of 100 for the entire K-drama. Pretty simple. So, we're going to just walk through each of those categories, talk about them, and then just any miscellaneous things that I think are important to talk about. And yeah, that's all I got. Final warning, this does contain mega spoilers. You've been warned. The first category is plot. And for Hello My 20s, I gave the plot a 9 out of 10. Pretty high. Because I just really love the way each girl has her own life, her own problems, her own plot lines, multiple plot lines for each girl, and they all kind of intertwine together well. It's just really, really interesting and engaging, and they all have like a mixture of like really mundane plot lines and then like the bigger or like heavier plot lines that they have. So for example, a quick look at each girl. Ina struggles with feelings of inferiority, working hard versus taking the easy road, and her roommate constantly stealing her clothes and shoes and bags. That's pretty average. She is a sugar baby who is trying to justify her lifestyle despite knowing that it's really just a direct result of the trauma from her childhood. And then she is almost strangled by the father of a girl who did not survive the horrible accident that she was involved in. So, like, we've got the mundane, roommate stealing clothes, and we've got the, like, what? Yeah. And Yeon struggles with her weight, her looks, her relationship with her boyfriend, who at first just seems dismissive and coercive and disinterested, which is bad enough, but turns out he's actually way worse than that, and kidnaps her and holds her captive in his apartment because she broke up with him. So, normal stuff. Trying to go on a diet and falling off the wagon less than an hour later. And not so normal stuff. Being held captive in your ex-boyfriend's apartment. It's a lot. Eunjae struggles with social anxiety, making herself heard with friends, family, at school, everyone she encounters. And she struggles with terrifying nightmares because she believes herself to be the cause of her father's death. That's, mundane and not so mundane. Jae-myung works several jobs to pay for school, which shouldn't be a normal thing, but it is in our society today. That's not out of the ordinary. But the reason that she has to do that is because she's helping support her comatose brother to stay on life support, even though he's been brain dead for years, and her mother just won't take him off of life support. And she struggles with the decision of whether or not to take him off of life support. It's pretty heavy. Ji-won, of course, Jiwon mourns the fact that she doesn't have a boyfriend, never made it past the first blind group date thing, never had sex, to the point that all of her roommates are really, really tired of hearing about it. But she's also, a compulsive liar, and her attention-seeking behavior points to something going on that's not revealed in Hello My 20s Season 1, but it seems like there's some underlying cause there. Like, why does she feel the need to do that? But hers is a little bit less dark in this season, I wish that they had rounded out Jiwon a little more. I feel like all the other girls got a lot more than she did. So compared to the other girls, I think she kind of gets shortchanged. So plot is 9 out of 10 for that, and then just, I feel like it could be better, possibly. If I'm giving a 10 out of 10, I'm like, this is the ideal. This is what everyone should follow in every way, but make it their own, and I just didn't quite find it getting quite there. I didn't see it getting all the way there. So, 9 out of 10, which is still really good. Next is Ending Satisfaction. It's a working title. It's just, was I satisfied with the ending? And 7 out of 10. Mostly because of Jiwon. I wish they had given her some more time, some more personality to delve into, more backstory, that kind of thing. And given her kind of a true ending that really fit with her experiences in the drama. It just kind of was over for her. But yeah. And then I felt like Ina decided to, start working, honest work, get a job, get a normal job, and it really, I didn't see her ever being rewarded for that. I felt like yes, she was relieved to kind of move past that lifestyle that she wasn't really happy in, but it just looked like it was hard, like everything was frustrating and difficult and exhausting, and I never saw any of the times when she was like, I think I'm getting the hang of this, or I feel proud that I did this, how you would in a job eventually. I wanted to see just a little bit of that, a glint of hope for her in her new hardworking lifestyle. But I mean, it was kind of, she'll get there eventually. I just wanted to see it a little. Overall, I was happy with this drama's ending. It was a little cheesy, but 7 out of 10 for those things that I mentioned. Character development, it kind of goes hand in hand with the plot. So I won't really rehash those things that I mentioned, but I feel like they did a pretty good job. 9 out of 10. I especially wanted to just mention Ina and Jin Myung's relationship, because as the two oldest girls in the share house, and the two most different from each other in the share house as well, I would say, it was really interesting to watch them kind of not really get along, because they saw in each other things that they didn't like about themselves. It was sort of like an ugly mirror sort of thing. But in the end, they really spurred each other on to do better for themselves. And they both kind of also want what the other one has. Jin Myung just wants an easier life. She wants something to finally be easy. And Ina wants the way Jin Myung can really stand up and say, I worked hard for everything I have. I did everything I could, and I really put my heart into working hard. And I think Ina wants to be able to say that, but she can't at the beginning of this drama. She just kind of... and by the end, she's kind of gotten to where she wanted with that. I also thought it was interesting how Jin Myung was presented with the opportunity to take the easy road with her terrible, horrible boss. I hate that guy. And in the end, she said, no, I'm not going to step through this doorway. I compromised enough just coming here. But I'm not going to take this last step and do this. And so in the end, she kind of proved this unspoken thing that she had been projecting to Ina is like, I wouldn't do that. And it was like, okay, prove it. And it was actually a harder decision than she thought. So I feel like they both gained a better appreciation of each other by the end of the drama. So their character development side by side, kind of foils of each other. Love it. And then I'll just quickly mention Eunjae learned a lot about standing up for herself from her roommates, from her boyfriend, and just her life situation. And she, by the end of it, she could a little bit more easily express herself to the people that she was close to. And so that was cool. And then Yeon, like, I really didn't think about her character development much, but she really like put in the work and evaluated, like, who am I? Where am I going? What is this relationship? And had to muster up the courage to break up with him. And of course, she didn't know how that was going to go, but like, she did that. Like, at the beginning of the drama, and for most of it, we just see her kind of groveling for any little scraps of love from him, and him only giving it when he feels like it. And by the end, she's like, you know what? No. And I'm just so proud of her for that. So, loved her character development as well. Next up, we have music, and I'm giving that a 9 out of 10. I love the music in this drama. It's bright and offbeat, not literally, but, you know, like a little quirky. It just suits the drama so well. Like, the theme song, like, so catchy. Why is it in English? But also, why not? And then the, like, whistle at the end where it, like, fades out and it's kind of eerie. It's like the whole song is really bright, really, like, you know, like, woo! It's fresh, it's cozy, just like, yes. And then there's kind of that little, like, okay, this is a little eerie sounding. So I really, really loved that because it fits the vibes of this drama so well. Like, that is what this drama is. It's like, it's cute, it's bright, it's fresh, but also, so, love it. The only thing I'll say about the music is I wish they had a few more songs, like 2 to 3 more songs. It just, they had to repeat them a lot, and they did get a little old, you know, the sad song, and like every time one of the girls had a hard time, like, it got to be a lot. So I just wish that they had a few more songs to sprinkle in there, balance everything out. Would have been a little better. So 9 out of 10 for music. Chemistry. So normally chemistry is like kind of a bigger category. It's not weighted bigger, but it has, you know, more oomph to it usually. But in this drama, like, really the main couple, I would say, is Eunjae and her boyfriend. And there's not a ton of, like, time dedicated to the relationship. I gave the chemistry a 6 out of 10 because like, I don't think they were trying to give them a ton of chemistry because they're supposed to be, like, young and awkward, and she's, like, you know, not good at saying what she wants and doesn't want. But I felt like they could have done it in a way that was a little less cringy. They went from, like, she hated his guts to then, like, she likes him, like, so fast. I didn't really see that shift coming at all. Even after it happened, I was like, what? So they could have done that a little better. So that's the chemistry. Next category, sub-couple story. So this is, you know, in K-dramas, like, there's usually the main couple, the main characters who get together or don't, or do, actually. So there's, like, the main characters, but then there's also, like, a sub-couple romance, like the girl's best friend, the guy's best friend, their sibling and someone else, or his best friend and her best friend, or her assistant and some random guy. Like, there's always, like, some other smaller romance, like, plot line going on in K-dramas, and I love it, and I want that to be a part of the things that I rate, because it can really make a drama way better, can really elevate it, or it can just, like, right down the drain. Because a lot of times they use the subcouple for, like, comedic effect, and if that gets, like, too goofy, I'm like, I'm out of here. So I think it's good to rate subcouple stories, and in this case, I would count the subcouple as Jin Young and her cute chef boy, and they get a 10 out of 10. It's a tie with another subcouple, my favorite. Tie for first place of, like, my absolute favorite subcouples in any drama I've seen. So I loved them. I think they go well together, they look good together, like, just visually cute. I'm going to mention, I don't give 11 out of 10s or, like, 1,000 out of 10s or whatever, because I want this to really, like, be an accurate rating scale, but I did consider giving them an 11 out of 10. So I'm just gonna say that and then keep going about them some more. The way he loved her, so sweet. He just kind of watched her, like, observed her as a person before he ever did anything, and kind of, you can tell that he put a lot of thought into getting to know her, even from a distance. So, like, the first kind of gesture that he does for her is the glass of water waiting on the table outside, because he has been watching her. He knows that she runs to work, and she's, like, out of breath, like, panting and sweating and, like, exhausted before she even starts working from running across the city from her other job or school. And so he just gives her a glass of water, and he says, you still have some time, you can, like, sit out here and drink some water. And, like, that was just so caring. It was so simple and personalized for her. I love it. The way that he would drive her home, because he knew she was exhausted after working all day and her shift at the restaurant, and, you know, wanted her to be safe and all of that. Like, very, very, like, again, personalized. Like, it's just a simple thing, you know, anyone could do it. Like, it's just going out of his way a little bit, but it's really a big thing for her, because her life is just a series of obstacles, and if he can just shave the top off of any of those that she has to jump over, climb over, make it a little bit easier for her, like, he's gonna do that, and it's beautiful. And then the way that he like, goes to her, so, like, he doesn't ask her to, like, take time out of her ridiculously full schedule, because she wouldn't do it anyway. She wouldn't be able to. But he just goes to her at the convenience store where she works, just goes and waits for her, and then spends some time. It's just, his love is chef's kiss. literally, because he's a chef. And the way she loves him back too, like when she buys him that knife sharpener to congratulate him on his promotion, and like, you know, she wanted to get him something nice, and like that was the best she could do, but like she just wanted to do something for him, like to say like, I noticed, I'm proud of you, like good job. And then he's like sharpening his knife like so much, and like even to the point where his like other guy in the kitchen is like, isn't your knife sharp enough by now? And he just like keeps going. He's just like looking at her the whole time and smiling. Like, they are so cute. The way that he stood up for her and helped her, even though like there was all that suspicion surrounding like what was going on with her and the boss, like he just was like, right now, like I need to help her. What he's doing is wrong. I don't care like what else is going on. Beautiful. Okay, next section is acting. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Nothing wrong with it, but I also nothing wonderful about it. Nothing stood out to me in a bad way or a good way. So 7 out of 10, like solid, good, just kind of, yeah, there it is. Next is costumes. Costumes are really important to me. I love clothes. And speaking of clothes, peep the Augusty. If you know, you know. Anyway, so I felt like the costumes were really fitting for each character. So like, let's briefly run through that. So Eunjae had like a simple, modest, understated style, which really helped me believe that she didn't want people like noticing her. She didn't want to draw attention to herself, and she was from the countryside. Like, it was pretty understated, which I feel like really fit her vibe. Ye's clothes were a little bit too pink sometimes, but I do think like having kind of a lot of pink did fit her style, but it was like a lot sometimes. And then when she didn't wear pink, it was a little jarring, like, what's going on? So like, that was a little much, but like I did like that they kind of gave her a theme and that they like mostly stuck with it. So Ina wore like glamorous, fabulous, fashion forward, provocative clothes that kind of fit her lifestyle, of course. But something I also really appreciated was that she wasn't always on. Like, she would wear normal, comfortable clothes that were like, it just looked like, I just want to be comfortable. And I really like that. A lot of times in like the media, if there's someone who's like portrayed as like sexy, like they always dress sexy, even if they're like being comfortable, even if they're like, you know, like in whatever situation, it's like, yeah, like I have like a deep V or something, like it gets to be a lot, and like nobody wants to be on all the time, especially when you're just at home with your roommates. Like, so I just appreciated that like detail. Jin Young just kind of wore like whatever. She looked really great. But they did a good job of like making it look like she's not a fashionista. Like, she just threw some stuff on. But like, it always looks good. I love her jeans. And I also just wanted to mention like how dirty her shoes were. Like, I know they focused on that. Like, even before they were like really showing her shoes, like that's just a detail that like should be attended to. I don't remember if I noticed it beforehand or not. But like a lot of times in movies, like people's shoes are pristine, and it's not my experience most of the time. So I just really appreciated that, like, dirty, raggedy, were they once white or have they always been gray moment of the shoes. So alright, and then Jiwon's clothes, very, very fun. they fit her quirky style, and she wears things just to wear them. Like, she's like, her clothes, her hair, everything about her just screams like, hi, I'm my own person and I don't care what you think about it. And I love that. And a lot of her clothes are also cute though. Like, they're out there, but like, they're cute. She's cute. Okay, next up is details. And I don't have a ton to say for details. I'm still kind of settling into this category. I might eventually replace it, but just like the little things. So like I already mentioned, the shoes, and just those little things that make a drama better. Like, it doesn't have to be like things that make it more believable, but it can. I really liked the kind of parallel showing Jin Myung and Ina coming home. Like, Jin Myung's like working. Ina's like shopping, having fun, doing whatever, and then like Jin Myung's like walking, Ina's taking a taxi. It's just kind of like really showing the like stark differences in their lives and like juxtaposing them against each other, which feeds into that like they're foils of each other kind of thing. So loved it. High quality. There was no like huge details that I was like wow or like wow. So 8 out of 10, you know. Last category is not too corny. And so I know that I said like I don't mind K-dramas like being corny, but that's to an extent. And when it gets past that like level and it's just like ridiculous and I'm like cringing and I'm like, should I stop watching this drama? That's too corny. Like, that's too much. So overall, this was not a very corny drama, I would say, like in term like for a K-drama. It was pretty chill. I will say there was one exception, and it was their landlady. She's like French or whatever. She should not have been in the show. Or if she was, she should not have been, like, she should have shown up, been a normal landlady, and then never had random cuts to her doing weird stuff. Like, it didn't make sense. I don't know why they did that. I don't like her. It was horrible. And I thought I would like her at first. She's like, looked really elegant and stately and... Sorry, these cats be running. She looked elegant. She looked stately. And then it's ridiculous. And so, like, that, no. So, I'm giving a 9 out of 10 because she did not show up much. Like, she was hardly ever there, but when she was, no. No, thank you. Anyway, so, those are our 10 categories. So, the final score is 82 out of 100, a solid B. Very good. I feel like it kind of accurately represents this drama because it's not high budget, it's not super fancy, but they took what they had and they did a wonderful job. Like, they really, really did. Overall, would recommend. Okay, next section is Let's Appreciate Beautiful People, which is just a section to take a moment and reflect on this K-drama and the beautiful people that are in it. Just like, dang, these people are gorgeous. Because I know I would waste a lot of time just blabbering about how attractive so-and-so is, or like how beautiful so-and-so looked at different times. Like, this section is just for that. So, like, let's just take a moment and appreciate it. Okay, now I have just a few notable moments that I wanted to mention before we finish up. There's just this moment when the girls are finding out that Ina is a sugar baby. And there's that guy who's been like kind of stalking her and trying to convince her to like give up her lifestyle. And he says something to the effect of like, they don't love you, they don't know the real you, they're just judging you based on your looks. Like, I can save you from this like life, I really love you, like I can see that you're like a good person or whatever. And she's like, you're doing the same thing, judging based on looks, like you don't know me, leave me alone. And I was like, dang, true. Like, he's literally doing the exact same thing, but it was spicy. I liked that moment. Okay, the moment when all of the girls were attacking Unjay's not boyfriend, guy from college who came to visit, and there was like all this other stuff happening, and they like assembled, like Avengers assembled, and like had this whole thing, and Jin Myung came out with like the cool kick and just like demolished him. It was amazing. It was a little cheesy, but like I ate it up, I'm not gonna lie. And then just a really like authentic moment I felt like was when they all went to Jin Myung's brother's funeral and ended up like laughing. I just feel like that's a really genuine feeling moment, because it was awkward, and you know, they didn't know him. She had kind of already grieved him, like she knew he was never coming back a long time ago. And in situations where it's like really like a lot of big emotions, you know, sometimes you can just kind of flip-flop like immediately, like really quickly from, you know, like really like sad to like laughing. And I've definitely experienced that. Like I've felt that where it's like you're sad and something just kind of flips and then you're laughing, and it's not like you're not sad, and it's not like you're not being respectful, but you need to laugh. And you do. And I just felt that, and it just kind of, I was like, yeah, that's pretty genuine. I felt like. All right, that is all I have for you. I would love to hear your K-drama recommendations. So I'm kind of amassing a list at all times of what K-dramas I need to watch. I have a huge list of K-dramas that I've seen already, and a giant list of K-dramas I'm in the process of finishing. So, motorcycle guy. So, if you have any recommendations, especially based on like this review, if you're like, oh, if you like this and you like this, like, please let me know. Like, that's why this is a thing. That's why I started this channel. I want K-drama recommendations. That's why this channel exists, is for K-drama recommendations and talking about them. So, any questions, comments, snide remarks, drop them in the comments along with a recommendation for the next drama that I should watch. That's everything I have. Thank you so much, and hit me up next Friday and let's talk K-dramas. Kraken cup. I know it's just an octopus actually. Okay. Anyway. What have I done? Okie doke, next. Okie doke. So if you hear noise, it's just my cat playing soccer. Anyway,